got upset because one of the people that brought information to me didn't want to work with her, and they were very adamant about that. And so I just gave her a heads up about it, just to say, like, I'm going to put this out, not to like hurt your feelings, but they were very specific that they wanted me to put it out. It wasn't like she couldn't react to it. It was more like, this person specifically has told me that she wants this on my platform and she doesn't really trust you or whatever.
Was that all Katie was doing, was just giving Molly a heads up? Let's go see.
I was talking, I got a message. This is what I'll just read it out. It's from Without a Crystal Ball says, so this is interesting. I'm about to release a bunch of audio. My source wants to make sure that the content is released through me. Okay. I know you are going live tonight, which I think would be a good time to speak about the audio, but can you direct them back to my channel to listen to the audio in full? Absolutely. The source is being really particular about this, and I want to respect their wishes. Sure. You don't want Molly Golightly or Justin to have these recordings. Guess we're going to hear them anyway. But yes, everyone,
that's hers.
Yeah, we'll go over there and we'll listen.
Yes. So we'll go over there and listen.
Did Katie just lie? Because that sure didn't sound like Katie giving Molly a heads up because the source didn't trust her. I sure hope that there's no other lies regarding this. Let's see.
Oh, and that was done. I think she clarified that too in live with Molly. And she said, actually, that was clarified in a video too.
Well, she's right. It was clarified in a stream. And now that clarification is making it unclear which one of these two was more full of shit.
Yeah, that was her directive, not mine. And
so it was the source that requested this. Well, I wonder what the source has to say about that.
I'm actually reading it from the chat. So is this the woman who gave KJ the information and said it was only for KJ and you didn't want it on other channels? So when you gave her that information, was it to stay strictly on her channel and you wanted people directed to her channel? Or was this?
No, that's not at all the understanding. The understanding that I had with her at that point was that it was to remain anonymous. And that was the only stipulation that I had with her when I released that information.
Narrative number 2.
Thankfully, with some of this chaos, though, people are starting to ask a lot of questions. One of the questions I've seen often asked recently has been, did Molly ever give updates on the fundraiser? Did Molly ever communicate with the admins and advise them to not give updates on the fundraiser or Letitia? And I do actually have some text messages in regards to that from Molly to the admins of the group. So I figured, what better way than let her speak for herself? You'll see in this text message between Molly and the creator of the Facebook groups Justice for Vaughn and Exposing Joy McCray that they ask Molly straight out if she thinks that they should give an update. You will see what her response ends up being. Straight up, no. Nope. That's it. N-O.
Sure, we can just totally take Nonsense's word for that right there. But just in case, why don't we check the chat? Here in blue, you see it says, do you think this is a good idea to update the public? Molly says, what? Blue says, and how much donations she's received, an update to the public of her total. To which Molly says, no. No, she doesn't think it's a good idea. Not that she doesn't think you should do it, or that she's telling you not to do it. She just doesn't think it's a good idea.
A little quick reminder of, no, this stuff does actually exist. Molly did say, no, do not update them on the fundraisers. We've seen that. Now you have it yourself with all the arrest.
You just made Bill Hyde bigger.
This is a piece of it that I don't know much about whatsoever because I wasn't paying attention to what you were posting with the dad situation because I had already chose not to really cover the kids section of it.
Yeah.
Because the CPS stuff, we knew there wouldn't be updates, things like that. Plus, I just have a weird thing with minors.
That kind of sounds like registry talk.
And so that was one thing. And then there was this like source of a friend of the military
Yep.
so I didn't know that he had contacted Molly and was going to do an interview with her. No clue. I got a message from him like on my inbox, and he was like, I just want to tell you what happened. I just want to share some stuff with you. And I said, sure, like whatever you want, not a big deal.
Who are you again?
Abba really didn't want to speak with anyone. So I was just trying to help from that respect. And I wasn't trying to be like, you can't speak to anyone else. Like they were just like, he just didn't want a lot of stuff out there about his kids, and I was just trying to be really mindful about that. And they started the court case, and then the friend was like, okay, I talked to him about this fundraiser and we might do this or we might do that. And I honestly brought up the same issues with them. And I said, maybe you should do a trust with the attorney. He literally does have an attorney. You guys can go find the filing in court. It's there.
Yeah, that's just me pulling an Amber Heard. I'm just using mindful and putting all their private information out there publicly synonymously.
I said, maybe set up this way or do a GoFundMe or whatever. And the person that was helping him was again, well, if I use a GoFundMe, then I have to be public and people will know who I am. And I don't want people to know who I am because they worked for the Department of Corrections. And California has all these really weird rules about corrections officers and leadership being on social media.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and that's why Abba hasn't been doing anything because he's, I don't know, I think of like a lieutenant or something. I don't know. And Abba's wife is a warden.
I'm pretty sure that warden is a leadership position.
But at the end of the day, they
created that themselves. And then that was for them.
At the end of the day, they did that for them. Well, I guess it's safe to say that we know what race the ex-husband is not, judging by the fact that you're not accusing him of running a fraudulent Fundraiser here, huh?
I knew that he was at rehab, but Wynette was being very like guarded about it. Like she told me that she was talking about him once and it slipped and she said something like, well, I have charges on my ex. Like, I don't know if they're actually together. I don't know because there's an order of like no violent contact between them. He's supposed to be in a treatment facility. I don't know if he still is. The program was supposed to be like 14 months. That's what the court records showed. And if he didn't complete it, the agreement with the judge was that he would go to prison then and he would have to serve his full sentence, which I think was like 10 years.
Letitia told you this?
No, I found this through the court records that OC basically like stole him from her.
Okay, so that the great grandmother.
Yeah.
So you were told that same story after you connected with them.
Yeah, but then I looked into the court records and she did have some charges. She had more charges than what she had let on about. And I didn't know that it was necessarily relevant to put all of that out.
Yeah, but I wanted to put it all out, so therefore it was relevant.
I just wanted to look at the adoption side of things. And he was adopted when he was like, I don't know, 2. He was really little. And she was in and out of prison during that time. At birth, his given name was Marvon Sims, which was Letitia's maiden name.
That makes sense. More. Oh.
Frida?
You might know or not know anything about. Were you ever told that media had reached out and interviewed Marvon Sr.?
Yes. By Wynette.
By Wynette. And did they say it was going to air, it wasn't going to air? I
didn't know. I only knew that the interview was going to happen. I didn't know that it happened. Wynette told me that it was going to happen.
And just so everybody knows, an interview did happen with Marvon Sr. We do know that. It has not aired. At this point in time, it will not be airing. It might change in the future, but right now it's not. And it's because you can't, social media is not an accurate source really for media.
There was a quick interview. Okay, so to some.
This isn't just coming out of nowhere that people are asking questions or starting to really amp up. This has been going on. Unfortunately, many of you have seen this case through the eyes of creators who have intentionally lied about a lot, of information. There's no way that that can be twisted because we've sat and watched it happen, and we can disprove so much of things that are said, but it's still continuing.
Exactly what they said, only not them saying it. Okay, now it's time for member shoutouts. I'd like to thank
Sky Vision, Lynn, Cheryl Haggerty, Sassy Nas, Kara C, MGL, Michelle Goes Live, Lavender Lori, something, Carol T, Sassy Elmo, Wicked T, Rizzo's Wife, Erica Genevieve, Jill B, T King, Maps Cat, Lil Mousy Girl, Dirty Uncle Sal, Sean Coffee, Megan Broussard, Reagan, D, Flying Mom Laura, Mariana Santos, Karma Kid 101, Olivia Pruitt, Brianna H, Leslie Correa, Berber, Chronically B Queen B, Tennessee Val Mom, Bo Roundtree, Berillion, Megans, Nana Hawk, Silly Rabbit, Lola W, F Bear, Aisha and Angel, I'm Fucking Reagan, Y'all Nana's Not Drunk, Straysky, Christina Elizabeth, Osval, TB, Cheryl, Totally Jaded, Sally Godfrey, Sue Elliott, Rena Rue, Sunny D, Claire View, Jamie Couchard, Kimberly Roddy Mom, Atticus Finch, Jeanette Stevens, Jen Gerard, and Poodlerific.
Thank you very much for joining, and thank you everyone for watching.